Have you made any decision on playing time for Sunday?
Yeah, we have a team meeting coming up. I haven't communicated that with our players, so I'll always talk to our players before I, keep everything, discuss them with them before I kind of discuss it, nearing in more on a decision. But, I'd want to discuss it with those guys before say anything else.
But really, you have discussed it. Huddle up! Welcome to a New Year's Eve edition of Birds Huddle, presented by Toyota, official automotive partner of the NFL. Barrett Brooks, I'm Michael Barkann. Nick Sirianni playing cards close to the vest, as you just heard. But the Eagles announced today that the team will rest Jalen Hurts and most of the starters in Sunday's regular season finale against the Commanders. The Eagles still could get the number 2 seed with a win and a Bears loss to the Lions. Barrett, what do you make of this decision? Do you like it or not?
I'm one of those guys that, I want to see him play, go into the playoffs with a rhythm. But, he knows best. He's won a Super Bowl, so we're going to see. We're going to try it his way.
All right, and we'll see what happens. Here are some of the Eagles players today on the coaches' plans to sit the starters.
What's your reaction to maybe not playing in this game?
Just giving my trust to the coaches and trusting their plans and everything that we do. Obviously, I'm very competitive. Every opportunity we have, I want to take advantage of it and try and go out there and compete at a high level. So if that opportunity is given to us this week, I'll have that mentality.
Our confidence is through the roof. We know who we are. We know what we have. And so heading into the playoffs, this is just, again, for us, a chance to, this week at least, to prepare our bodies, a physical and mental rest. So, I think just heading into the playoffs is going to be good.
That brings us to our 3-point stance presented by Toyota. Stance number 1, the Eagles can use a week of rest. How much will it help? Taking the week off, getting healthy, and ready for the playoff push. What do you expect there, Barrett?
I expect them to go in first of all, I'm going to say I'm not a big fan of that, simply because I've had Barrett's experiences from that. My, second to last year that I had with the Steelers. We went into it, we rested. We had won 15 games. 15 games. We lost 1 game going into it. We rested the guys the last game going into the playoffs, and we had the worst game against the Jets. At the time, we had to go into overtime, and we only won 20-17. And we just weren't smooth. We weren't, calculated. We went into there, really ready to rock and roll, and it seemed like it threw the timing off. And long story long, not only did we have a bad game against the Jets, we won, but then we got an AFC playoff game, and then we lost to a team that, didn't get the rest in the Patriots. The Patriots ended up winning the Super Bowl. I was a little cheating involved with that, but still, I just didn't have a great sense of that. Then the year after that, we won the Super Bowl. We went into the 6th seed, and we just, stayed dominant the entire way because we were just, we were where we needed to be at. Our mindset was right. We were hot going into the season, and that's what I needed. This, is a little different. I haven't seen this many guys hurt, especially on the offensive line, in the last 4 years I've been here. We're usually a more healthier team going into situations like this. Well, we're not right now. And I can see them doing it. I can see them, it being an advantage for us this time. So it's kind of turning over a little bit. And plus, they haven't been able to get right. I'm going to start calling them can't get right, because the first half they looked like they were monsters. And then the second half they looked like they were meek. So, maybe, they get something going on and they can get some rest. The guys up front get some rest. And then we can go into, better equipped into this playoffs.
And here's the thing, stance number 2, the Eagles can still beat the Commanders with their backups. It'll be Tanner McKee under center. Chances the Birds win the game as now 4-point favorites. They were 7.5-point favorites, but 4 is 4, Double B.
Well, I'm looking at that offensive line. If they do go in like they say they're going to go in, at this point, you could put Brett Toth either at guard or center. He's done very well at that position. Matt Pryor has a lot of starting experience. And then, you look at the guys that may have to play. Fred may have to play the entire game. Tyler Steen should play, and he probably will. But then we have some pretty good backs up in Grant Calcaterra, Granson, he's good. And Latu's one of my favorite players. Then, like you said, Tank Bigsby. Give him an opportunity to show how good he really is. Will Shipley get an opportunity. A.J. Dillon gets some run out there. And on the defensive side of the ball, I like the defense we might go in there. I get a chance to Smile London, Trout Jr., Campbell play a little bit more. Jalen Hunt's a young guy, so he needs those type of reps also. Keely Ringo showed what he can do, and we haven't played O'Shea all year. So this may be a great opportunity for these guys to show where they are going to the playoffs. I haven't seen Jakarian Bennett play yet. I haven't seen him play yet. I need to see him in some game-type situations. So maybe they get him some run, give him some burn. We need to solidify things in that secondary. If somebody does go down, maybe we can show, he can do something other than, sit down and watch games on Sunday.
And you left out Tanner McKee. Do you expect him to light him up?
Oh, are you kidding me? Come on. Tanner McKee will be a starter, in most places in the NFL. So there's nothing. I'm not worried about Tanner McKee coming in and playing well at all. He's going to hose it. You know what I'm saying? I can see him going out there and having a great, great game. So the reason I didn't say his name, because we don't need to say his name. He's going to ball out. This young man is very, very skilled. I saw him during the preseason. I saw him, in camp. He can hose it, man. So, I already know he's going to ball.
Likely Josh Johnson for the Commanders. Stance number 3. The Packers are by far the most favorable potential opponent in the first round. If the Eagles end up with the 2nd seed, they'd face the Packers. If they end up with the 3rd seed, they'd face either the Niners or the Rams. So the Packers at 9-6-1 would seem to be, Barrett, the preferred opponent.
Preferred opponent. That's kind of tough. You're thinking about preferred opponent. All these teams are good. All these are NFL teams. I think, with the Packers, they've lost their best player, in Parsons. So since Parsons is not there, it kind of gives us a leg up. Any of these teams right here, any given Sunday, could beat the Eagles. I don't think that they will. I think that it doesn't matter who they play. And I know the Eagles are going to go in there and not care about who they're playing. Going forward, they've got to be a bunch of nameless jerseys out there with not even looking at the helmets and what the insignia is on the helmet. They need to worry about taking care of themselves, running the offense effectively, running the defense effectively, playing their game, dictating tempo to whoever they're playing against in the playoffs, because it doesn't matter. This is a good team, and on paper they're a great team, but they haven't showed enough to think that they're a Super Bowl winning team, and that's what makes me nervous. You've got to go out there and play your game, your ball. They played bully ball last year. They haven't played it this year. Well, this time, let's go in and play ball that's effective enough for us to win a Super Bowl. And the only way you can do that is to take care of themselves. Make sure that they what? Dot their I's, cross their T's, play disciplined football, take control of the game. You dictate tempo to those guys out there with the opposite jerseys, and they'll be fine if they do that.
Here is the playbook presented by Supercuts. With the starters sitting out the regular season finale, how likely is it that Jalen Hurts can turn it on come playoff time? What level of faith do we have in Kevin Patullo to make the right play calls as offensive coordinator? Our eagle-eyed duo of Dave Zangaro and Reuben Frank on the Eagles players that Nick Sirianni has decided to sit. You're watching Birds Huddle, presented by Toyota, official automotive partner of the NFL. Bet365 presents Storylines. Since the news came out that the Eagles are sitting their starters Sunday, the line has moved, as mentioned. The Birds were 7.5-point favorites. That number has dropped to 4 points, but they're still significant favorites, even with Tanner McKee expected to lead the backups into Sunday's game. So, Barrett Brooks, it's just as we said in the first segment. The backups can still win this, can't they?
I think that they can. Like I said before, I'm looking at the roster, and these guys are pretty good. I think Howie did a great job of getting guys that can back up and come in and play, not just for a little amount of time, but they can actually start, for an elongated period of time. Matt Pryor's had a lot of experience starting in the NFL, like 5 years experience. Brett Toth, we know he could play. He's come in and play a lot anyway. So I think that they'll be just fine going into this with the backups that they have.
If the Eagles are to make a deep playoff run, the offense will have to play better, much better. Just a short time ago, Jalen Hurts spoke about their struggles.
For how everything has been this year, we've got a great opportunity in front of us, and I'm not saying that in a bad way. We've done a lot of special things this year. We've set a high standard for ourselves, and when you have the level of success you have, that comes with it. Ultimately, nothing else matters. As we play through this week and prepare through this week and then enter the tournament at 0-0 for everyone. And so the mentality is just to go find a way to win.
Stock up, stock down, presented by Philliport. Check out the Eagles' offense in the first half compared to the second half Sunday in Buffalo.
13
points, I know it, but we have to. It's a law. 174 yards in the first half with 13 points. As you said, they look like monsters. Just 16 yards in the second half and didn't even complete a pass. 1 first down. Do you think Hurts and the offense will be able to just flip a switch come playoff time?
I mean, if they could just flip a switch, I would think that they would have flipped it.
So they are what they are? Is that what you're saying?
They are what they are. But one thing you say, they're used to playing like that. They're used to going out and grinding it out. They're used to winning ugly. And, I mean, at this point, that ugliness has won games for them, and I think they, play pretty successful with it. They understand what they have, and if they get it running, that they could go out and play pretty well. So I'm looking forward to seeing what switch they're going to flip, and if that's, flip, they need to leave it on. Keep that switch lit the entire time instead of, allowing teams to, kind of dictate to them what they're going to do. It looks like the second half is where our problems come from because teams make adjustments, and at this point we need to be better adjusting what they're doing.
How about this? Does it make you feel any better that we watched Jalen Hurts do it last year? We watched him in the NFC Championship game seemingly flip that switch. Similar in the Super Bowl, flip that switch as he got the MVP. Does that give you a little more confidence?
It does, because I know he can do it. He's done it before. He's played against some of the biggest opposing quarterbacks in the NFL and beat them all handily. Once again, he's undefeated against Allen. So, yes, is there a chance that he can turn it up? I think he will turn it up. He plays well in the big games, underneath the lights. He shows that he's one of the number one quarterbacks in the NFL during those situations. In those situational football, there's probably no one better than Jalen Hurts. So we'll see as he go forward.
Here's what concerns observers of this team, certainly fans of this team, and that's the play-calling acumen or lack thereof of offensive coordinator Kevin Patullo. And yesterday we heard from Patullo. He was asked about the run game struggles, especially running into stacked boxes. How does Patullo's answer to this question sound to you?
Were you happy with the looks? Sometimes it looked like you were running into unfavorable looks. Is that fair? Or
I mean, there was a couple plays where we were just running to run it, right? And so we got to do a good job of making sure we put everybody in the best position to do what they need to do, and then we have to execute that play once we get those called. So, some runs are, hey, we're running it no matter what. Some other things have some options off it. It just depends on how the play goes in.
It's the running it to running part. With some plays, we were just running it to run it. That seems to me to be an inadequate answer to that question, Barrett. I know you have some insight there, but just the way you put it out there made it sound like he was not prepared for what they threw at him.
Sometimes you just run it. And I know, let me explain. Let me kind of explain to it, and like I said, go back from experience, So we had, when I played and won a Super Bowl that year, we had 5 plays we ran, and it didn't matter what look you had or anything else. We would run it regardless because we felt as though our players are better than the players we were playing against. And 9 times out of 10, that was the case. We were better. We had success because we ran it no matter what, and it just got to a point where nobody could stop it because we ran those plays, effectively enough that it didn't matter. Well, I kind of think that's what Kevin Patullo is trying to say. There's a call play, and you got a stack box. All right, we should be able to make at least getting back to this line of scrimmage, and that's where, the problem lies. We're not getting back to the line of scrimmage. Guys are getting set free, and it's not because it's really necessarily the play call, but it's more so the guys in front of the running back and the quarterback are getting their ass kicked. I mean, they're getting whooped. I mean, that's basically the bottom line. You can't allow your starting center to get beat so fast that you can't get out of your stance. You're getting hit when, almost when you're handing the ball off. Those are things that, just should not happen. And like I say, it does not matter what Kevin Patullo calls. When the guys can't run a play effectively, you can call whatever you want to run. You can call the best call, have everybody blocked the way it's supposed to be blocked. But if that guy can't block the guy, he misses, and he whiffs on him, it's not his fault. It's not Kevin Patullo's fault. So I understand from that aspect, but also understand this. you can't just say I'm running plays to run plays, because run plays can set up other plays. And I saw that extensively when I watched this last game with the Bears and San Fran. They were running plays to set up other plays. And I saw that effectiveness on how they did that. The winning touchdown that San Fran threw was something that was set up earlier in the game where the linebacker didn't get deep enough. He shut down on the seam route with the tight end. They saw that, how aggressive they were with that. Then they ran, to win the game, they ran a deep end going in behind that and ran that same tight end in front of them. And what does it do? Linebacker locked in on them. It opened up a big hole, a void in that defense, and they hit it for a touchdown. That comes with calling plays to set up other plays. I don't know if we've advanced that much with Kevin Patullo in that manner yet. We need to get there really soon, because that's how you win championships. So we'll see going forward how he adjusts to that.
You got 16 yards and just 1 first down in the second half against Buffalo. One of the worst run defenses in the NFL, one of the worst. You got yourself a problem. Hopefully they can rectify it. Sunday, we have complete Eagles coverage for you.
We'll be there.
We'll be there, my friend. We'll start it off with Birds Huddle game day at 2:30, followed by Eagles pregame live at 3 p.m. And once the game goes final, clock hits 0, flip it back right here for Eagles postgame live as we sift through the seeding and playoff opponents. We're back with more Birds Huddle in a moment.